Yeah, what's up, Cowboy headquarters, Cowboy Nation, and America's team? And here we are, G and Mikey, mic'd up on Monday night, mic'd up. So, what's up with my man, Mikey? What's going on with you, brother?
Surviving the heat, surviving.
Man,
It's a day in the life, living with this cactus and living with this sun, which is the son of a you know what. Sometimes, man, it's
bro,
this heat wave.
it's moving this way, man. It's 108 degrees outside. Now we're not. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Back in the 80s, it got about this hot, around about 108 degrees, 110 degrees. Man, it's just I don't know how y'all do it in the AZ. You know.
It's called air conditioning, central air, and then we're moving to solar. So so the sun itself pays for the central air because the electric bill is ridiculous,
I'm
ridiculous.
sh- I'm sure it is. So, man, we're getting. I mean, you guys done pushed this heat this way, man. I was telling somebody at work. I said, man, you know what? This is no longer Texas heat. This is that Arizona, Las Vegas heat. It's like an oven, bro. I
Yes,
mean,
sir.
and there's no rain in sight. I think we got rain. I think last week one day, and it was beautiful that we got rain, man. But
There's a
bro,
difference though. Like dry heat, you could escape it in the shade. It'll still be 100 in the shade, but that degree difference is
hmm
you could survive in it. When it's wet heat, there's no escaping that. Like
oh
it's just,
my
you get
god.
out of the shower and you just stay wet,
Wow. Well, let me
like
start
being
off
at the
with
beach.
Yeah, well, let me start off with this. Welcome to G and Mikey Mic'd Up, 1 hour of news, update, and rumors. Cowboy fans from the AZ to Texas, the land of America's team. And we would like to,
Ooh.
yes, sir. And we would like to thank our subscribers, man, and all those that follow this channel, which we are still a part of the Cowboy Huddle. This is just another branch of the Cowboy Huddle. So me and old Mikey got together and came up with this podcast. So if you don't have time to watch, you can always listen to it. So here we are, man. So my buddy Mikey from the AZ, man, and we're ready to dive into this news, rumors, and updates, man. So hey, man, I guess we might as well start with a little bit of NFC East, man. And
Let's go.
with that being said, I was looking throughout the NFC East, and basically one thing that caught my eye is Carson Wentz with the Commanders.
Oh,
And
really?
I'm really eager to see how this guy would do with the Commanders. I mean, I think it's a gift with a bow tie on it for us in the NFC East.
Yes,
But
sir.
I mean, I could be wrong. He's working up under Ron Rivera. Maybe this is the system that he fits in, but I think it's a gift with a bow tie. What do you think about that, man?
When I heard the news that Carson Wentz was coming back to the NFC East, I was delighted. Just like every other quarterback in the NFC East. But it's scary. As much as we've been lucky, especially last year, giving them the old broom and sweeping the whole division, the division catches up. These teams have gotten better picks. You got Thibodeau in New York, and Washington has, in my opinion, the best defensive line and the best middle with Allen, and their defense. They
Yeah.
could hang on that defense and ride it out with Carson Wentz. So I think the out of all the teams in the NFC East, we're sleeping on the Commanders. What do you think?
Mm, mm. And I think the defense, well, just like our defense last year, basically carried us. So, yeah, I think the defense for the Washington Commanders will have a major part in their success for the 2022 season. I'm still, like I say, and that's one angle, but from this other angle, as far as this offensive side of the ball, I'm not sold yet. I'm not
Well,
sold.
don't forget about what Gibson did to us 2 years ago. I know we didn't have Dak Prescott, but Dak doesn't play defense, and
Right.
he daddied us. He
True.
daddied us in that game too. So that guy might have had an off year, but he still has it in him, and he's a good NFL running back. Um, I I,
Yeah,
I just see the Commanders as sleepers, just because, of course, the Eagles are a little bit overhyped. We've seen this dream team mentality where they get these players and um like the Nadi Asamoah, when
right.
they got that dream team and they just fell flat on their face. Sometimes the winners of the offseason aren't necessarily the winners of the season. Uh, Jalen Hurts doesn't scare me at all. It's funny. I don't have the numbers, but Dak Prescott's numbers versus the NFC East are ridiculous. And I can't believe that man gets so much disrespect. First of all, you want to win your division if you're going to get anywhere. And his numbers against the division itself, he owns it. He owns the division.
For sure.
The New York Giants, Daniel Jones doesn't excite me. Maybe their defense, like, if anything we could say about the NFC, maybe the quarterback play is not is great as the AFC West, for example, but the defenses in the NFC East are going to be defense to be reckoned with. The Dallas Cowboys defense, the New York Giants defense, of course, the Washington Redskins defense, and the Eagles defense are going to be forces
Jordan
to be
Davis.
reckoned with. Even in the part of the season where snow and ice takes over, and those East Coast teams, because they are the East,
hmm
have their home field.
Yeah, and it's something that you mentioned about the Giants. Well, here's another rumor that which we always report. The rumor is that there's a possible chance that Jimmy Garoppolo could be traded to the Giants. Do you? I mean, it's. I
I think,
I like Jimmy. I like Jimmy, but I think he would probably fit with the Giants. But it's the
yeah,
scheme. Does he fit with the scheme? You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Well, we don't know what the scheme is. Josh Allen made that scheme. He made that scheme what it is. Like, we wouldn't know exactly what that scheme is until we see another quarterback, because Josh Allen's talents um made it his team. Can you excuse me just 1 second,
You talking
sir?
about I mean, you talking about Daniels?
Yeah, but the offensive coordinator
Oh, okay, the coordinator.
from the
Yeah,
Buffalo Bills, I forgot his
yeah.
name,
Go ahead, man.
is now
Do
the
your
head
thing,
coach.
and I'm going to go ahead and talk about that while you do that real quick.
Yes,
So
sir.
that is the rumor. The rumor is that it's a possible chance that Jimmy Garoppolo could be traded to the or released or whatever the case may be to the New York Giants. I mean, with that being said, it's more like uh, is it possible? That's the question. Is it possible that Jimmy Garoppolo? I hate the fact that Jimmy Garoppolo is getting this bad take. Because of the money and also because of the shoulder surgery. So I like Jimmy. It just again these quarterbacks have to fit the right scheme and looks like 49ers will be going with Trey Lance as a possibility, but again, the rumor is that it's a possibility that Garoppolo could end up in the Giants, which that would make a quarterback competition between Daniels and Garoppolo. So,
Jimmy G is that dude you just don't like and you don't know why.
hmm hmm
He just has these haters. He's a mediocre quarterback, but you know what he does?
huh?
He wins.
He wins.
He wins.
He wins for sure.
And then it kind of annoys you how good looking the dude is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a good looking dude. That he is, man. That he is. I don't know. I don't know if he fits Kyle Shanahan's scheme. I know when we played the Cow when they played us. I saw Cal Shanahan put him in a position where he threw the ball when it should have been a run play, and he threw the ball. I think we either intercepted or it cost them a down or something. I can't
Yeah.
remember, but it was like,
Well, I think what the 49ers are doing are exactly what the Rams did yet last year. They have a good team, they got a good foundation. There was just one main piece, and taking Jared Goff. and putting your boy in, your old Texas boy with the cannon in,
Yeah.
and winning a Super Bowl was
Wow.
the recalibration they needed.
Yeah.
Was the recalibration they needed, and maybe putting Trey Lance in will infuse that Niner team offensively. And that kid got skill. He's the second overall pick for something, and they spend their money. And as you know, when your quarterback isn't hitting your cap as much, you could put more talent around them. So his quarterback first contract clock is ticking, and they need to take advantage of that. And this is an impatient league. We're in a microwave league, and we want our burrito as hot as possible.
You know what? That's so true, man. And that's where we are today. The game has changed dramatically, and dramatically, and and it's sad, but that's just the nature of the game now, man. But we'll see what happened with that with the NFC East. Is there anything else that you see in the NFC East you would like to discuss, or
well, what I would like for them to happen to them is lose every game. No, like I said, the sleeper is the Commanders. Everybody's talking about the Eagles, 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 but maybe Carson Wentz, knowing this is his last shot and the talent that they do have on the team. You saw what Carson Wentz was. He was an MVP candidate before he got hurt. Uh, it's hard to bounce back, but he does have the talent, and that's all you need is sometimes is a good arm, and Terry McLaurin is a good wide receiver. So
yeah,
I think people are sleeping on
yeah.
the Commanders.
And maybe he fits better with Ron Rivera. Maybe Ron Rivera can put him in situations, which we thought that was the case in Indianapolis, with under Frank Reich. We
Yeah.
thought that was a good position for him, a good setup for him. But here he is with the Commanders. So maybe Ron Rivera knows what to do with this guy in his offense. So,
Well, you know what? And to add on
yeah,
it just came up. He's had trouble being the leader, and he comes off not as the leader. This team has played with the likes of Taylor Heineke for the last 2.5 years, and I
true.
doubt that fourth string quarterback was any kind of a leader with the veterans or anything. So they probably have a leader presence there already. And if all Carson Wentz has to do is be a quarterback, and maybe that's his wheelhouse, and that's the perfect situation for him. It's throw up in my mouth to talk positively about these teams,
I know what you mean, brother.
but
I know what
you want your rival to come with it, and us to whoop them while they're good. So hopefully it works out.
For sure. So, with that being said, moving on to the Dallas Cowboy news, man. So, we have found out that, the deal and the negotiation between Dalton Schultz and the Cowboys, there has been told that he will be playing up on the franchise tag. So, evidently, they did not agree to terms on a long term contract. So,
Oh, you
uh,
mean Dalton Winslow? You mean the Dalton Gonzalez? Dalton Sharp?
so,
You mean
what do you
that guy?
think? What do you think? I mean, is this the right direction for the Cowboys to go with Dalton Schultz, or should they had offered him something
Well,
long term?
it's the trend going on in the league. It's, I believe, four tight ends this year got the franchise tag. I can lay what is it? Get Sicky from Miami and two other ones where the tight end position is wanting more money. Like
Right.
people like Kittle,
Yeah.
the kid in KC, uh, they're catching the ball at a rate like a wide receiver,
True.
and there is a big big margin
It
between wide
is.
receiver and a tight end. So
True.
then now they want to be ball catchers
Yeah.
or receivers themselves and want to get paid that way. So I think it's just the trend in the league, and they're all of them are going to leverage. You only leverage if you unionize. So if they
Right.
unionize, they can leverage more money. The salary cap is going to go up, but I don't believe Dalton Schultz. Well, he's what is he? The eighth ranked wide receiver, but you can't pay your eighth ranked wide receiver as a top four wide receiver,
No.
right? Not receiver, excuse me, a tight end
Tight end.
right now, considering we got the top ranked um, running back, the top guard, the top, and we're paying the top out. We're top heavy as hell,
Yeah,
but we need more backups. We need to have our talent spread out around the top players that we have now. And Dalton Schultz, yes, he's consistent. Yes, he's a security blanket. But if our quarterback is what we're paying him to be, that's not going to be. That could be interchangeable.
true, true, and I totally agree with you. I think I like the fact that Cowboys took this path as far as letting them play up under the franchise tag, due to the
Yeah,
fact I really think that the Cowboys think they have something in Jake Ferguson,
yeah,
and
definitely.
knowing that he's going to be a backup. And and we do know, you and I both know that Dalton Schultz is basically, as far as a blocker, he's not the best at it.
Yeah, and on this show and our other show, that don't fly. It
No,
doesn't fly.
you got
No.
to be able to block. I can
Yes.
appreciate that he can catch the ball, and he's good at that position, and that's great. But as a blocker, I think that's where the downfall starts for me. So I
We just
didn't.
want him to be complete.
True.
But or if we find a blocker in Ferguson, which is more likely the case because he's from Wisconsin and
Yeah,
they
run
breed
the ball.
they make cheese and make offensive linemen over there.
Hmm.
No doubt about it. The land of Tom Landry, the land of the sweep. If he is the blocker, then we have a good combination, and we could go in our 11, our 11 package, and go
True.
out there more. Um, but he can't compensate and make money for somebody else that wants to get paid like a top four if you're not a complete tight end.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. And I think that's what basically hindered Dalton Schultz, because they knew that there's a lack in the blocking department with him. So, they say, okay, basically we'll just let you play on the franchise tag. But this is an opportunity for him to prove it, to prove that he deserves the money.
And it didn't help that one of the worst highlights of the year was that game earlier on where he had that one on one and Zeke is right there, and all he needed to do is just carry his guy, leverage him over, and it was a tackle for losses, and it
Yeah,
made Zeke look bad. But
he was
a
reaching.
lot of that was, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah. So and I guess the Cowboys have a legitimate gripe. I mean, you want us to give us this guy long term, but there's some flaws at hand. So, but you will see how that works. But like I said, I truly say that this is an opportunity for him to take this season and prove it to the Cowboys. Say, I'm worth this.
Yeah,
But I think there's going to be the competition between him and Jake Ferguson
definitely.
for this position. So.
Especially with ownership and them leaking out their little things, the training camp. Like I said, they try to manipulate us by just letting a little out, just
Oh,
to
sure,
manipulate
yeah,
because we're football horny, and we want that as much as
yeah.
possible. So
Whatever comes up, that we jumping on it. That's right.
yes,
So yeah, it makes
definitely.
sense. So yeah, they're just throwing stuff out there. So I know you had mentioned something earlier before we came on. You was talking a little bit about Tony Pollard. What's going on with Tony Pollard?
Well, you know, I'm not gonna. My sources are our own colleagues and social media podcasters, and from a podcaster uh, talking about Dalton Schultz, not Dalton Schultz. Tony Pollard is 5 to 10 pounds heavier.
Oh
Heavier.
wow,
He came to camp 10 pounds heavier, so that means he's ready to take punishment. He's ready to take that step. And
so
yeah,
true. It
yeah.
makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, yeah, with him adding that weight like that, I mean, maybe he's getting ready to. It might be 60-40. It might be
Mhm.
60-40.
Well, who has that extra weight? And that's Debo Samuel. And Debo
Ooh,
Samuel, and that's the buzz. That's the buzz that
that is
we
the
could
bug.
use Tony Pollard as our slash guy, slash wide receiver, slash
Running back.
running back, slash guy that we get the ball to and scheme him at
His
least
feet.
10 touches, 10 to 15 touches a game because he is electrifying when he has the ball. He's He's squirmy and he's graceful at the same time.
Well, and that's so true. But Dallas got a problem on their hand, man. They got to figure out what they're going to do with. I mean, at the end of the season, I mean, what are they going to do with Tony? Are they going to sign Tony, or are they? And I know we got to cross that bridge when we get to it. But this
Yes.
guy's putting on 10 pounds, so basically he's going out here to show me. He's going to show everybody that, hey, if Dallas doesn't sign me, I'm
Yeah.
available. I'm
Definitely.
available. You know, but
Definitely. No, like I remember like players like Michael Turner. Michael Turner
mhm,
stayed on the Chargers bench for so long and he
yeah,
could have been a number one on anybody's roster. Michael the Burner Turner. He,
burner.
the Michael the Burner, and then he ended up in Atlanta, and that was like not the end. That was like toward the end of his prime, and that's when we barely got to see him. But his prime was when he was Ladainian Tomlinson's backup. So I understand wanting to get the bag, and it's each for each his own. And
Yeah.
I, if it works to our benefit, we love Zeke, but Zeke got his bag. So
Mhm.
Tony Pollard turns up, pay the man, or help us get a Super Bowl and eat off of that forever.
Man, and that's so true, man. Because who, man, we're here at this season 2022, and we don't know exactly what we're going to do with Tony Pollard. I mean, he could be on the future roster, or he could be playing somewhere else. Personally, by him adding 10 pounds, basically what he's saying, I can be an every down back. That's basically what he's trying to prove. I can be an every down
Bingo,
back. So
bingo, bingo. That's that's your mind working beautifully. Like definitely. And that's
yeah,
the first suspect thing you should think. He wants to be every down. But like our narrative is trying to get him like Debo Samuel. But you're right. You're definitely right. That's exactly what he wants because that's his biggest knock. And you gotta be happy or excited for that. That he's responding to the only negativity you could say about him, and he said, "You know what? He he's Lamar Jackson. You remember when Lamar Jackson's rookie year to his second year, his traps went. He went.
yeah.
So that means he cares.
Yeah, and that's right. Just like we talked about Dak on the last show. I think all these guys are putting in some extra time to get their bodies right. So, which is good, man. And that says a lot for what the Cowboys are standing for this year. But Tony Pollard is something that we're going to have to keep our eye on, and hopefully, boy wonder, Kellen Moore put him in position to be a great asset to this offense, because like I say, he's not a Debo Samuels, but he can be used as a Debo Samuels for
There
sure.
you go.
For
Uh,
sure. So
but and they're talking about him. All right, but all the hype that he's getting is this overrating him, and at the same time underrating Zeke.
mhm. Yeah,
What do you think?
yeah. Well, and that's you know, you know, it's like we're ready to put Zeke down out in the pasture, man. But Zeke
Yeah,
have done his thing the first 3 years, and now it's like, oh, he's no good. But it's like putting a what do you call it, one of those race horses in a race, man, and they ran for so many years, and then it comes a time to where they drop off a little bit, but he's still a winner. He's still a winning horse. So, with Zeke, he's still that same guy, but again, I have to take away from our offensive line from keeping Zeke from being the person. And then again, he's playing on a bum leg. He's playing on a bum leg. So, and he still got 1,000 yards. So,
he did with
yeah,
one more game, but nobody did. The haters will tell you that. So the one more game, and who I saw the Cowboys cut the guy with the glasses, with the
yeah,
dreads and the glasses.
Jaquin Hardy. And we're going to talk about that because that's going to lead us. I'm glad you brought that up because that leads us right into our next topic, which we talked about. I think we brought up a little bit, but come to find out that Dallas has brought in a native from Texas, Malik Jefferson.
Whoa,
Malik Jefferson was from Texas. And I got a little information about Malik Jefferson right here. Where is he at? So yeah, Malik Jefferson was signed by the Cowboys. Come to find out, which they had to waive Malik Hardy. I mean, no, I'm sorry, Jaquin Hardy. which I
Yeah,
like that little dude. And you know
I
what
did
what
like
I
that little dude.
and you know what? Zeke liked him. Zeke was really, if you watch Hard Knocks last year, Zeke
Yes,
was
sir.
really trying to work with him to get him prepared to get on the field. And we
Yeah,
did see him score the touchdown against the Eagles. So, but it's the
it
business
was.
of the NFL. So they cut Jaquin Hardy and they brought in Malik Jefferson, which is
And the good thing about COVID, if anything about COVID, it has made practice squads bigger.
yeah,
So
yeah,
there's more guys getting work, more guys having jobs, and more guys getting paid for to be on standby or to help out a team, and that's good to see guys getting paid instead of letting their dreams go. He could a practice guy makes decent, and if the Cowboys,
oh
I
shoot,
don't know
yeah,
if they would say,
600,000 on a
yeah,
practice squad. Sign me up, coach.
yeah, that's to play a game, yeah, definitely do
Yeah,
what you love. Definitely. So I hope that to him. So
yeah,
Malik Jefferson.
yeah. So Malik Jefferson is one that he's a Texas native out of Mesquite, Poteet, which was right in the DFW area. He was a
Okay.
third round pick with the Bengals in 2018. Okay, but here's the deal: he's been with 6 teams in 5 seasons. Says that Jefferson played 9 games with the Browns in 2019, 13 with the Chargers in 2020 before just one game last season with the Colts. Jefferson also was with the Titans and the Chargers a second time as well. So, what do you think is the reason for him playing with so many teams in a short period of time?
I think that he's talented enough and competent enough to be a professional,
Hmm.
and he conducts himself accordingly.
Okay.
I just don't think there's always somebody more talented in front of him, obviously. But he gets picked up because he's a professional, and
True.
they know he's not going to screw around. They know they try his ass off, and he could be an asset when you put him on the field, opposed to being a liability. But there's just something about him that other players get by him. But
Yeah.
him getting hired again says a lot. It says a lot about him and his character.
Yeah, and he got a damn good agent to get him on the team each year. So, you
Yeah.
but and now that we talk about Malik, I brought up a little film session about it. Let's just kind of look at a little bit of film session.
She's
Yeah,
a
film,
producer.
film,
You're
film.
Dr.
Hey,
Dre.
hey, it's time for film session. So let's get into this, man, and we'll look at a little bit, and we'll kind of look and see what
Hey,
we
you
see.
remember at school? I don't know if I'm not gonna date you like as far as how old you are, but you remember when your substitute teacher or your teacher rolled in the TV? You know it was gonna be a
Oh
good
yeah.
day.
Oh yeah, I was in that era, bro. And you knew you was getting ready to watch a good movie, and it's free time to watch a movie. Yeah, for sure.
Let's roll that beautiful
So let
footage.
yeah, so let take a look at this, Mikey, and you tell me what you think. And we'll talk to it. We'll talk through it because, like I said, this is a podcast. We
Yes.
want to make sure that people can understand what we're talking about as we roll this video. So he's a linebacker. He's a native he's a from Texas University, Texas
Okay.
Longhorn,
Yes, sir.
and let's take a look at him. So here's a uh, film of him
One on one.
one on
Boom.
one. Yeah. So right here we shows he makes a good hit against this. Look like it's
Boom.
Louisville, Maryland. That
It
like
looks like
Maryland.
Maryland
That's
to me.
Maryland. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean, one on one.
that guard didn't want none, so went to go double somebody else. There
Exactly. So this is him on special teams. He comes to make a good block. He made a good
you
block to
go.
free up this punt returner, which looked
See,
like
that's and that's exactly what we need. That's
yeah,
exactly what a player like Malik Jefferson is going to bring to the Dallas Cowboys. That's exactly why this guy gets so much work. He's willing to do that special team stuff. He's an athlete, and
yeah,
he's more of an asset than a
yeah.
liability.
Yeah, he's the grunt man. He can do it all. So there he is right
Yeah,
there. He
Baker.
take old Baker Mayfield out of bounds. So right now, what I'm looking at, look like he's a darn good tackler, man. He can play it downhill. I'm trying to still look and see if he can drop back in coverage, but right now, what it shows that he can, he's a hell of a downhill player, man. He has a nose for the ball. So
Well, it looks like the scheme they played in a lot of space, and they put him in a lot of space. And two of these uh highlights, it's him isolated making a tackle. There's another one.
yeah, there's another tackle. Open, I mean, one-on-one tackle. So the guy has a nose, but here's a play against TCU. He comes, oh, he fills the hole and makes the tackle. So
Yeah,
again, we know he can tackle. I mean, Malik Jefferson can tackle. Uh, Come to find out that he's an undrafted free agent. So maybe, if anybody can put him in a situation to be great or be successful, is Dan Quinn. So I'm
yeah,
sure Dan Quinn knows. Look at that goal line
yeah. He
stamp
filled
right
in.
there.
Yeah, he filled in. And then a lot of this, him working in space. Um, that's what the Big 12 is, and him
Yeah,
closing and making one-on-one tackles.
yeah.
Maybe it's not the grunt, the grunt wishbone that it used to be, but that still makes him an asset as far as being able to make one-on-one tackles versus uh, superior athletes like running backs sometimes. And I'm not saying he's not an inferior athlete, but some of these guys are squirmy.
Yeah, it's so true. But this guy, again, Malik Jefferson has a nose how to feel the hole. So he goes in there and I mean, he puts his shoulder down and he makes the tackle. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop right there. But again, um, basically, even if he doesn't start or get any playing time at the linebacker position, he'd definitely be a great asset on special team until he's able to work his way into the linebacker
No, we
rotation.
see the thing with Malik Jefferson is a player that we just want to see make plays
Yeah,
on on special teams or be a special team wizard, because the guys we have in place are the ones that we want to be successful. If we get into talking about our linebacker room,
right.
we need the wolf hunter to be healthy and close the gap, and maybe this is the year where he's not so skittish about his neck. He had one of the best rookie seasons ever. If it
Yeah,
wasn't for Darius Leonard, he probably would have won the defensive rookie of the year over another linebacker. But another linebacker played just as good as the season with more turnovers, interceptions, and more turnovers caused. But wasn't he an All Pro or a Pro Bowler his first season?
well, yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. I think we give LVE such a hard time
Yeah,
because he played up under Mike Nolan, but when he was up under Marinelli, him and Jalen
Charlie.
Smith did pretty.
Oh,
Yeah, they
Jalen.
did pretty well. And everybody's, oh, they're garbage. Jalen Smith's garbage. And yeah, under Mike Nolan, he was garbage because Mike Nolan had no clue of how to put these guys in position. So
And we got to admit, we love Jalen Smith, but
yeah,
that drop foot, it, it's his predecessor is otherworldly, and that's
yeah,
Michael Parsons. So you see, Michael Parsons to Jalen Smith, there's no comparison.
yeah,
And Jalen Smith before his injury would have been as good or if not better than Michael Parsons. We know that. We got at least 2.5 good years of Jalen Smith, and we're happy about that. I just think Jalen Smith was a little too nice.
yeah.
He was always,
Helping players.
dabbing up, and we needed a killer out there, and he was just a little too nice. I'm not killing him, but back to who's on the team now. We need Jabril Cox, and he says he's doing good. He's on track, and he's one of these youngins that we have the best medical staff in the nation. So
Sure.
who knows what Jabril's gonna be? And I hope it's Jabril, LVE, and Micah, and we don't have to worry about Malik or picking up anybody else.
Yeah,
There is going to be players that, like I always say before the training camp, there's going to be players on this team that are not on the team now,
for
and
sure.
I, I'm excited. We're all excited, and the player of Malik Jefferson for our audience is for you to know this guy or have an idea of what this guy could do, and that's why we show even these backup players are our new additions to our podcast.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? And you're so right about that, man. You know, because I am a little leery at this linebacker position for what we have, because we still have to see what Jabril Cox brings to the table. LVE, we only one that's solidified is Micah Parson. You know, we know what he
You know
can do.
what? Last week,
Hmm.
I declared for me, I was gonna stop giving Boy Wonder a hard time.
Yeah, I know it, and I'm on board with you. I'm on board with you. We're gonna stop giving him a hard time.
All right. This week we declare we are riding, like we said before. If he's our ugly baby, he's our ugly
He's
baby.
our
But you
baby,
know
though.
what? But he's our baby. So LVE, show us something. Turn into
Yeah.
the white swan that we know you are, because these that ugly
Why
duckling.
not the white tiger? A white swan is pretty friendly. Yeah, let's go
Well,
to
but
white
I'm saying
tiger.
it's ugly when it's a baby, but then it turns into this beautiful, graceful thing. So hope
Yeah,
that maybe his neck injury. If it's his neck, he probably goes out unconsciously thinking that it could change his life
yeah,
forever.
yeah,
And we talked about injuries before, and finding your new 100. If he finds his new 100, then he finds his confidence, then he tackles at the point of attack, and
right.
then be with his instincts, just like how you saw Malik diagnose, read, and then attack, fail. And it seems that LVE, his rookie year, he was just like a dog chasing cars, just kind of what Michael was
Yeah,
last.
yeah,
And now you want, hopefully he's older and the film study gets him there, opposed just to being on his instincts. But a lot of those instincts were drawn back because of that neck injury.
yeah,
And he's removed from it. So I believe he's not going to be the high hopes guy we thought we were going to get, the Charlie 2.0, kind of with the injuries, kind of that. But the Charlie 2.0 as far as the next linebacker. But if he's just there, serviceable, and makes the right read in the plays, I have no problem with LVE being on the
right.
starting lineup.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I totally agree with you 100%, because I think the bad name came from for Jalen and LVE is under Mike Nolan. Mike Nolan just put those guys in bad position, and we saw how bad they played. But and you just could you Mike Nolan was asking these guys to cover a lot of field with his scheme, and they couldn't do it. But let's talk about Jalen Smith real quick. Jalen Smith was a man that played with his hand in the ground. He was an edge rusher. You bring him to the Cowboys, and now you want him to drop back. That's not his specialty. It just
Oh
wasn't.
no, it wasn't.
It
It,
really
it was
was.
evident the way you beat Jalen Smith was that Rams game,
Yeah.
when it was Curly. Was it Curly? It was Curly, right?
Mm,
It was number 30, Curly. He did like we were supposed to win that game. We were up by 2 touchdowns. Remember that beautiful game?
Oh yeah.
Who is it? What's his name? Number
What position?
46,
What position?
running back, number 46.
Anderson.
No. You came from the
Oh, you talking
Redskins.
about come from Washington? What's his name?
Yeah.
Um,
He broke that 90-yarder,
yeah, he
and
played for us for a minute, right?
yeah,
Oh,
and then it was that fumble and the punt. Man, I can't believe I don't remember these guys. Anyway, but that was a game where the league found out you that Jalen Smith could not cover a running back on a
right.
wheel route downfield, and that's what killed us. So, but
Yeah,
Jalen Smith's a good guy. He's an entrepreneur. All the programs he does, and what he is, like we can't hate on the guy. The guy he was awesome. His personality was awesome. It's just he was a little too nice to the opposition, and his drop foot did make him slow, which made
yeah.
him, like I said, not an asset but a liability.
Hey, and you know what? As much as I'm a Jalen Smith fan, and I really am, but
I like it.
when I saw him up in Green Bay, and he was out of position, I'm like, oh Lord, this guy is.
Bad, bad, and it sucked, man. Because you remember that Texans game where he cuts down
Oh my
Deshaun
God.
Watson, Like that's when
Yeah.
he was at his prime. What was it 2019? When was it 18?
I think
2019.
it was 18. What's it? 8,
Eighteen.
it had to be 18. 18.
Where he just catches Deshaun Watson just galloping
Yeah.
down the line and catches him.
Yeah.
Like that was his heyday of a half a season. His prime was awesome. Was awesome. Where but that drop foot and it's a shame. Who knows what he would have been if it wasn't for that Fiesta Bowl that he tore his ACL
Yeah.
and but you know that was last year. This is this year, and this is the declaration where we're gonna be okay with LVE until
For
he
sure.
fucks that up.
Yeah, yeah, you better believe it. I agree with you. It's all on LVE. LVE, and I think this is a year for all these players to prove it. This is a year to prove it. It doesn't even go with the coaching staff. It goes with the head coaches all the way down. Everybody has to prove something. Dak has to prove something. Zeke has to prove something.
No,
So,
no, no. It's just the season was great.
yeah,
The exit was abrupt, and that's all we remember. That's all.
yeah,
I'm watching these short, condensed games. And I'm like, man, like I watched the Atlanta game. That
yeah,
game was beautiful.
yeah,
I
yeah,
wish every game was the Atlanta game, but it's football, and that's why we're here.
yeah,
We're here, and we're cool with the season. We're cool with the season they gave us, but that's just not enough anymore. Like
yeah.
it's not. It's been too long,
It's
and
been too
we're
long.
here. We're
And
here
we're
right
getting
here with
older.
our quarterback. We're here right here with this coach, and we're here right here. We've been right here with the ownership. I
Yeah.
know they tried, but yeah,
That's where we are, man. So, and with that being said, we're talking about coaches, talking about players, man. Let's move on into this here. I want to share this with you as well, man. I want to see what you think. And let's kind of look at this, man. Let's look at this 53-man roster. And I got the list right here, man. And I want to share this with you. And let's kind of go over this, the depth of each position and
so
what you think. Because I did a deal not long ago. Well, matter of fact, Saturday about which I talked about. Matt West. What's his name? Let's go. Well, let's go.
well, let's
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Matt. Well, let's go as being the backup to Tyron Smith. And I was like, they got him listed as, and you can see right here. Can you see that right there?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, let me see. Let me see something. Make sure I got it. Okay, yeah, I think we're okay. Hold on a sec. And I think what the deal was with that is, we, you know, you got him listed, and I'm doing video on Matt. I'm like, okay, if Tyron goes down, will he be able to step in? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a sec, brother. Let me get
It's
this. Okay,
fine.
here we go. There we go. So starting with left tackle. So right now they got Tyron Smith, Matt Walesko, Avante Collins, and I don't know these guys, but starting there, I don't know if you looked at Matt Walesko, but
Yeah.
he comes from North Dakota State, I believe. Uh, I talked about his strengths and his weaknesses, but I'm a little skeptical about
Well, just you bringing this up and then not seeing a name we recognize, just the tone of what you have right now says it all, G.
yeah,
It says it all. It says it all because it's bleak. Because Tyron Smith hasn't had a full season in almost 6 seasons,
yeah,
and we got people talking like this is his last year, um, that's once again a liability in winning games and losing games.
mm-hmm,
Uh, not him being consistent. So we of course that's one of the first depth spots we're gonna look at because he hasn't had a full season. Matt Walesko, uh, we haven't seen too much of him. I would prefer if we had the swing tackle. Who is would be the swing tackle?
Oh man, I
There-
was just looking at the guy from Kansas City. I'm like, why we haven't picked this guy up?
Yeah,
He's oh, I can't.
or Dwayne Brown, or Dwayne Brown. Dwayne Brown is out there. Um, like I've been saying, there's people on our roster that are not on our roster right now,
Yeah,
and things are gonna happen. I would, I it's crazy the time we live in, how we're sticking to our positions, or give due where due is supposed to be given.
Right.
And somebody like Larry Allen, like how easy it was for us to just say, oh, let's take him from guard and throw him to tackle. He's our best lineman. And Zach Martin played tackle in college, but we haven't moved him to replace Tyron anytime in his career.
No.
And that just goes to show, and Zach Martin is going to be a Hall of Famer. It just goes to show that Larry Allen was a Hall of Famer amongst Hall of Famers.
Right.
And what he does, um, I don't, I believe Ball is another one. Uh, I would move Steele around if that was the case, and then have our swing tackle take the right tackle position.
Okay. So you say you move Steele around. Well, how would you do that now?
No, just in case,
Yeah.
in case Tyron's out, then you swing
Hmm.
Steele to the left side, and you have our
Yeah.
weaker on the right, because that's what naturally would happen unless somebody stands out and somebody balls out in training camp.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't. I totally agree with that because Steele was the backup to Tyron Smith, right?
Yeah, he was the backup his first year to Tyron Smith and Layal, and
Yeah.
then Layal, he took Layal's job. He
For
got in the
sure.
weight room, took it in his job, but that's what you would have to do. And then you give that right tackle a little bit of help by putting Dalton Schultz or Ferguson to chip and occupy him, and put your starter to the other side. I see
Hmm.
that naturally because there's nobody in our uh, O line depth that I
No.
would trust.
No. I mean,
Remember,
I'm look.
like you say Chaz Green, and it sticks to your craw.
Yeah. I agree, and I think we have our starters, but these backups. I'm okay. Let's look at Zach Martin. I mean, we got Connor McGovern, in which hopefully Zach Martin doesn't go down, but will Connor McGovern be able to come in and hold it down for who knows how long? But I'm looking at these backup positions. I mean, here you go behind Tyler Smith, which this is our rookie. But behind him is Braylon Jones. I went to go do research on Braylon Jones and really couldn't find anything. So it's like,
Yeah,
who is Braylon Jones? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
uh, I'm a little concerned about the backups on our front line. And
yeah. While Connor McGovern does have game experience, at
yeah,
least there's tape, and then not very good tape. Him and Connor Williams were not one and the same. I think Connor Williams was a little stronger than McGovern, but
mhm,
McGovern's also the center, so that keeps him good. We like utility players where we could exchange them in and out. So, um, like you said, that nobody gets hurt,
yeah,
definitely. But
yeah,
um,
yeah.
and that's why Jumbo Joe Looney was such a great asset.
Oh my gosh, he was. He was a locker room leader too. He-
Yeah,
With
a
all
guy
jokes
that
aside,
leads
he
the
was.
prayer is a leader amongst men. And I remember watching uh, Amazon, uh, that Amazon, what was it, All or Nothing, and
Mhm.
the Jumbo Joe is the guy that led all the linemen's prayer, and that says a lot.
Yeah,
Um, that says a lot about him. But he, like you said, we can't be reminiscing about something we don't got. Like
right, right.
it'll play out. That will play out in training camp, and hopefully somebody emerges. Hopefully these guys that just look not familiar, like this
Braylon
depth.
Jones. I'm
I, I
sorry.
I haven't played Madden enough, or my Madden hasn't updated, because who are these guys?
So let me ask you about this. So what do you looking at the center position? What do you think about Tyler? I used to call Tyler badass, but I
He
can't
is
call him
bad.
that anymore. I had to go back to Biades because I haven't seen no badass in Tyler. Okay,
But
so
you remember on the other show, his effective he was effective 90% of the time. When he was it was when he was blitzed on, or something, is when he was vulnerable. But we we're spoiled as Cowboy fans. We're spoiled. Our offensive line has been good since 2014. So we keep judging our line on a line that was good. Even the best line, we judged them on the 92 line. We
Of
got
course, yeah, of course, yeah,
we were spoiled with Travis Frederick, and just because we see a blonde, little hefty, white guy from Wisconsin, another guy from Wisconsin, like I said, they produce cheese and make linemen. Um, is we ain't getting the same result, but he is better than the average center. I'm tired of I'm tired of crapping on our team. It's time to get
yeah.
over that, and we need to look and be more optimistic opposed to being so pessimistic.
And
And
I understand what you're saying on that, but let me say this about Tyler. I think that's just like what you said. We put him in a position to fill some big shoes with Travis Frederick. I mean, Travis Frederick held it down, and then
down,
he held it down, and you wasn't, and he commanded offensive line. And I understand Tyler is he's young. I think that's the only thing about it. I think as far as commanding the offensive line, he's going to learn a little bit more. And but again, like you say, Travis Frederick was one. Those are some big shoes to fill.
yeah,
And I guess like you say, we need to give him some time and to develop into that center that we're hoping that he can be. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I agree with you, but
He's not as bad as as we portray him to be. The
mhm,
numbers don't lie. He's a productively good center. He's not Stepnoski. He's not Frederick. He's Tyler Biotish, and maybe the maturation process, and he
yeah,
threw on a little muscle, and he's gonna get into being that guy. Like we, we're spoiled. We got Zach Martin, which was an all pro his first year. Travis Frederick and Tyron Smith, along with Ron Leary, they were a machine.
that's
So,
right.
and we've had our history with. We just want all of them to be Larry Allen or Eric Williams, and
Yeah,
that's
Mark
not the case.
Stepnoski and all those guys. I mean,
And
we
Nate,
like you said, we're spawned. Nate Newton and Eric Williams. I mean, that's.
Eric Williams,
I
man.
mean, we can't expect anything less. So, Tyler, like I
People
say,
sleep on Big E.
oh my
People
God,
sleep on Big E. Big E was just as good or as good as Larry Allen was at his
oh
position
my God,
when Big E was there. People sleep on Big E. If he didn't break his leg and get into his trouble, he definitely be in the Hall of Fame.
yeah.
Definitely.
So let me ask you about this, Isaac Alarcon. What's going on, man? Is he going to get any playing time, or is he just what's going on? I
All
mean,
right. I think Alacon is good, but I think he's just a publicity roster filler. I think
oh,
it's more
stop! Don't
to
say
have
that.
somebody
Do not say
from
that.
Mexico and Jerry Jones ingratiating himself with a
Stop it.
Mexican. We're gonna have him
No,
until
I'm
we
not
play
going to
the
believe
Cardinals.
that.
He's gonna be active for that Cardinals Cowboys game in
Stop
Mexico
it.
City. It
That's
is.
terrible.
That's the only reason he has a roster spot. And I'm Mexican American,
That's what I'm
and all
saying,
it,
dude. You got to get that hard on him,
no,
man.
I'm a football fan first. You know what I mean? And he's taking up and he's just on the practice squad. He's gonna be on the practice squad. But mark my words, he is going to be active for the Mexico City game versus the Cardinals. After that, see two games and he's off. That's it. He's
That
just goodwill and good publicity.
that is
He's
so
cool.
terrible.
He was a story. The Hard Knock story was awesome. His mom was a legit fan. She was a legit fan, and saying it in a different language was really awesome. And but all he is he's a publicity story, and he's getting butts in the seats in Mexico City. There's a
Yeah.
hundred thousand
Well,
seats in that
yeah,
place, so
we're talking about Jerry Jones.
Estadio Azteca.
He's a businessman, so of course he's going to use him as a tool to draw people to the game. So of
Yeah,
course, I
well,
mean,
Jerry Jones knows his Latin. He has a lot of Cowboy fans are from Mexico, where Texas is, the Southwest period, especially here in Arizona, because of Tex Ram. I always say that. He's not dumb. Having
no,
Adbar
he's not.
Garcia and have the Emmy winning Somos Cowboy podcast, which I give him a lot of props for, gets a lot of viewers, and he's not dumb. So if you're gonna have a Mexican on your roster, He's a big guy, so keep
Oh my
keep him
God,
until you
excuse me.
sell out Estadio Azteca.
So let's look at this defense real quick, man, and we're gonna move on. But let's look. So let me ask you, what do you think about Tristan Hill? I mean, that's another guy that he's hanging around, but do you think he's gonna break the mold and get some playing time, or what's going on with Tristan Hill?
I'm tired of this guy.
Wait
I'm
a minute, now we say we're not gonna bash.
all right. I'm not gonna. Maybe next week. Maybe if he shows me something in camp, he's gonna get declared just like Alvi and Boy Wonder. But he needs to show us something. We spent a second round pick on him, which
You
was the
did,
year we. That was our first round pick because that year we had given our pick to the Raiders for Amari Cooper, so we didn't have a first round pick. Maybe that sucked for Tristan Hill because he got all the attention like he was our first pick, and he was our first pick in the second round,
yeah,
and that's where he got his attention. He has his moments, he has flashed, but it's time already.
yeah.
It's time.
Man, what is
And
this
like he's
fourth
still
year
on the
right here?
roster is a miracle
This is fourth year. I'm surprised he's still on the team, man. I mean, it's
because he got
and
some sort of
he
skill.
might not make his fourth year. He might get cut before this, before a season start. Who knows? But to me, I just think he's a little light in the pants.
See, but doesn't don't you see doesn't seeing him, excuse me,
Mhm.
on the depth chart. You see other guys on the depth charts, faces you know, names that you know. It's
Yeah,
scary from what you see on the defensive depth chart and juxtaposition to the offensive depth chart.
yeah,
We
yeah.
feel
It's deep.
way
It's
more
deep.
better about our defense,
It's
bro.
deep. It's definitely deep. And our offense is really scarce. But again, look, let's go to his linebacker. You got Jabril Cox behind Van Der Esch, you got Devin Hall. So it's deep. It's four deep on each level on the defense. So with that being said, so let's go down here and let's talk about this situation. Do you take Kevin Joseph over Anthony Brown or Anthony Brown over Kevin Joseph? What do you do, brother?
Boss man fat, if he don't get locked up, if he didn't do nothing, put that man to start opposite the the all
Jay,
pro leader in interceptions next to him. And then honestly, I do love AB. I do love AB,
I
but
do too. I
in
like
the
it.
slot position, I love Jordan Lewis a little more.
Yeah, me too. I really like Joe. You remember that game we played against the Saints, and the guy broke up that pass.
Yeah, that it
Yeah,
was that Thursday night game. It was
yes,
he got that interception. It
yes,
was that Thursday. That was the basically the beginning of the end of Drew Brees.
it was so true. You are so true. That is so
We wore
true.
our color rush jerseys. I remember that game. I listened to half of it and then I watched it, but I remember that game because all the time we run into the Saints where they're hot and then we beat that ass.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we are. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I remember the time when, man, I don't know what was going on between Jalen Smith and Kamara.
Yeah,
I don't know if they had a thing about who locks was the longest, but that was the game that, man, Jalen Smith was wearing Alvin Kamara
yes,
out.
it
I
was.
mean, wearing him
Yeah,
out.
and Tank was having a hell of a
Oh
run.
heck yeah, heck yeah,
Like the Tank was having a run. Our defense looked good. That was
yeah,
a bounce back year for Rob Marinelli. But we're talking about these guys here, so we'll
yeah,
see. Have some better times. It's all good and dandy as a Cowboy fan,
yeah,
but we're
for sure.
done. We're done just losing, going to the playoffs and losing games, especially with this weak division that we're in.
Yeah,
We're tired.
yeah, for sure. So, let me tell you my sleeper on this defense. Out of all these guys here, here's the guy I'm so glad that we have on this team because this guy actually is the final piece to this defense.
Armstrong,
No.
that's my dude.
J-Ron Curse.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
J-Ron Curse, man. Let me tell you something.
Tell
J-Ron
me.
Curse is the guy.
Tell me something.
Man, this guy, I think he brings along with Tank Lawrence, but
Tell
J-Ron
me.
Curse is fierce. And
Tell me.
he's scared of no one.
What? Keep going.
So this guy here, man. And look at the depth. You got Donovan Wilson behind him, and then you got
I
Marquise
love me
Brown.
some Donovan
Oh
Wilson.
my gosh! So
But Curse's size. He brings this. Do you remember what they would do with what's his name? The running the cornerback. He plays with the Dolphins now. Uh from
uh,
UConn. Jeez, man, I can't believe I can't remember his name. Um.
it comes with
Anyway,
age.
he he's tall, he's lanky, he's athletic, and he is specially a specialist when there is a good tight end, and we take out a Kittle, we take out these special pass catching tight ends, and we put J. Ron Curse on them, and that's the whole game, and
Right.
that he just eliminates their security blanket, and then the defense makes the quarterback go out in the boundaries, which
Oh, oh,
honestly I think he was a big reason why uh, we got so much intersections last year.
yeah,
Not to mention our line and
yeah.
Michael Parsons.
Oh, he locks on to tight ends. They're the same size of these tight ends, man. But I was so man, I was like, oh man, we got to bring J-Ron Curse back, man. I was so happy that we brought him back, which I
Yeah,
like Donovan Wilson, but J-Ron Curse is the final piece that puts this defense together, man.
and
So
he's the captain. He's the captain out there. He's talking. He's the one that has the green button in his helmet, or
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
green tab in his helmet. So yeah, it was paramount to
yeah, yeah,
get him back, and he is a Dallas Cowboy, and I'm happy about having
yeah.
him.
So I mean, the defense is like it's set. I mean, like I say, I'm looking at Luke Gifford. I don't know if Luke Gifford's a good backup, but I don't know. It's gonna be some competition going on, man.
And he is Luke Gifford is our patented white guy linebacker that we need. That the Dallas Cow wearing a number 50 number, and we need that. We need it. We need who's our Bill Bates type? Who is our Bill Bates type?
I don't know. Yeah, that's yet to be seen. It maybe could be Luke Gifford. I like Luke Gifford, but he just doesn't get the playing time. But I think it's gonna be some competition at that linebacker position, man. Really and
The-
truly, it
Who's
really
our
is.
grinder? Who's our Bill Bates? Hopefully it's Malik Jefferson. Who knows?
Oh my
So
gosh, yeah.
it's start
Somebody
it's
got to come and bring the thunder. Somebody got to bring the thunder. For sure. But you know what? I would say it would be Donovan Wilson. Donovan Wilson will lay the boom on you, man.
Yeah, he does.
He
He
will.
did it to in the Vikings game. That hit was ridiculous. He jogged the
Yeah.
ball loose, and Cooks didn't even know. He just let go of the ball.
For sure.
So
Exactly. Cooks. Oh, he was out of there, man. So,
yeah, dude, that was a
ooh,
great game.
yeah. Hey, so we got about a couple of minutes left. So I want to pull up something that I pulled up on Twitter, man. I think this is gonna be real cool.
Show
And
me.
we can end it out with this, but let's check this out, man. It's something I thought was really hilarious when I saw this here. Let's see here. Let me pull it up. Let's go here. Let's pull this up. Okay, hold on. I don't want to show that one yet. But let's start with now. Let's start with this one here, man. Dak actually got these guys doing it.
Yes,
Dak, are you serious?
he got his hip game, man. Look at that! Look at that! I like when they put that in a meme, and they put a cumbia on, they put some Selena on, and they have him doing the washing machine. They have Dak Prescott doing the washing machine.
Dak is wrong for that. Look at these kids. They all trying to do. That is so
Yeah,
hilarious. Look at the
it's
kids.
perplexing. You didn't know hips could do that, man. For real, man. But hey, and that's a big reason my mom loves herself some Dak. My mom got mad at Dak Prescott for losing weight.
Really?
Yeah, because she likes him juicy.
Yeah. So she thinks she's too skinny right now, right?
Yeah, she likes him juicy. She says his butt looks too small. So
Hey, yeah. So yeah, he was at the camp. This was at Frisco, man. They held the camp.
that's awesome.
And
Is that a cheer
yeah,
camp?
yeah, it was here in DFW in Dallas, Frisco.
Well,
So yeah, he had the camp. So I guess he wanted to take time to show these kids, and it's just so funny. Look at this kid. Look at these kids, man. Look at this.
yeah, for sure, man. I can see it. I saw that video.
But let's look at this one here, man. I thought this was pretty
Show me.
cool, man. This guy here is
Yes,
this
dude.
guy.
The league
Oh,
is on
oh
notice.
my gosh.
They're
How
on
he,
notice.
oh my gosh, dude.
People talking crap about the man, like, oh, he's gonna be covered different. I think he let him be covered different, and then let him get his stripes. That kid is gonna be top five by the end of the year,
I think
maybe
so
top
too.
three.
I think so too. Look at this guy. Look how he moves, man. It's like he's on ice, man. Oh, look at it. And this is
It
just
looks like a
something
video game, man. I'm
for sure.
serious. Screw no, he's the man.
He is the man.
I can't wait. He is one of the biggest. The thing one of the big. One of the things I'm most excited for
Yeah, for sure.
is seeing him at number one. Uh, MG. I hope he makes it a point that not MG not being there is not going to matter
Yeah. Well,
because
here's
he's the number
another.
one guy. He was picked, and he was picked at the position he was picked, and he snatches the hearts out of these cornerbacks. The way he snatched that phone from his girl trying to look at it during the draft.
Yeah, you're not in yet, honey. Give me my phone. What you doing, my
Oh
phone?
yeah,
But here's our guy, Jonathan Garibay. Is that how you say his last name? Look at this guy. Look at this kid.
nice.
I mean, he's nailing him, man. He's nailing him. That's what about 45, 47 yards right there? It's almost 50 right here. Look at this. Ooh, right down the center, man. So that's good to see that this guy's nailing him like that. I mean, I'm hoping that he's consistent like that. And I think the question was asked: what do we look for? What we look for in our kicker? Consistency, and that's what we need to see in our kicker.
I have a philosophy with kickers and what has happened with our Cowboys and our kickers,
Mm-hmm.
the last couple of kickers.
Mm-hmm.
I want a kicker that could hit a 55 yarder and that's it. But when
Yeah,
we see these kickers like Brett get the F Maher, that's what I
yeah,
used to call him, get the fuck out of here, or Greg the Leg Zerline, where yes, it's like a three like remember a couple years ago when Giannis Antetokounmpo couldn't hit a 3-pointer,
yeah,
like his
yeah,
shooting wasn't that good, but like if he hit a 3-pointer early on in the game, then he fouled himself and then he started jacking him up, which is better for the other team. Well,
mm-hmm.
same thing with the kicker. When he nails the deep one really early, and I remember with Jason Garrett and Brett Maher, like they would at the end of halves, or instead of going for like a 4th and 3, they would kick the ball because it'd be like a 57-yarder, 50-some
Yeah, I
yarder.
know. Yeah,
Instead of going for it and potentially getting a closer field goal in the points,
yeah,
or even continuing the drive and scoring a touchdown, they would settle for going for a long ass field goal, and this guy had the ability to hit it, but in that moment he wouldn't make it. And once we lose points, we steal points from ourselves, and we
yeah,
give this ball back to other offenses.
yeah,
We lose games, and
yeah,
we lose games by 4 points when we could have continued. And I
yeah.
want to see my offense on the field opposed to knowing my kicker's name.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. Quit putting him in a situation. Quit putting him in a situation where you want to kick a 61 yarder and damn it, get him in within 30 yards or whatever. But yeah, I totally agree. So let me ask you this. So what if it was the case that you had to go to a church function for your son or your grandson, and they're performing in the church and they're doing their praise dance and singing and everything. But what if you went and you saw something like this let me show you here. Here let's get
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
and you're watching and he does this.
Oh God.
Now they're singing church songs and your son,
Oh jeez.
what do you do? Do you
You shake your head and you do the homer in the bushes. Because he obviously got
where
it.
did this kid learn this from? Where did this kid,
You know he got it from daddy.
daddy or big brother? One of the two.
I can't. I just can't. Oh Lord,
Man,
Lord, Lord,
it's
Lord,
so
Lord. Hey,
embarrassing, man.
fathers are important. Teach you stuff like that.
It's so true, man. Well, hey, man, I think we done reached the hour mark, man. I think that was
Yes,
a
sir.
really great information newsroom and update for everyone. And again, we want to say thank you to everybody that took out the time and took the time to sit in with us. Again, when you're not able to watch us, you can also listen to what we have to say. But again, we want to say from G and Mike, we want to say thank you for being a part of this channel and being a part of this podcast that we got going on here, man. We really appreciate you guys,
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
And Mikey, I tell you what, man. I appreciate you, man, for taking our time and doing
You know
this
what's
on
up?
Monday night. So we definitely need to give it up for Mikey, man. We need to give it up for Mikey for what he
Nah,
does
gee.
for
Thank you
the
for
channel.
the production. Production.
Yeah. We appreciate
But
you, Mikey.
like, subscribe, tune in, put any comments, any questions you have.
Yeah.
We do this because we're captives to our star, but we'll really appreciate you guys, and just follow, subscribe, and share. We'd really appreciate that, for
Yeah,
real.
we
And
really.
then all props to G, because G produces this, and we appreciate him immensely, for sure.
Yeah, thank y'all, man. I appreciate y'all as well, man. Like I said, it's because of you guys. Thank you. Thank you. And with that being said, man, like we always say, don't nothing come to us quicker but a dream. So let's make it happen. Dallas Cowboys. And you